Yo.
What up? What up?
What's going on, man? It's been a while.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah. Listen, I was starting to like lose it a little bit. I wasn't feeling like myself. I was feeling angsty, the getting moody. And then I was thinking, like, man, what's changed? And I was like, oh, I haven't had my therapy session.
Shit is important.
It's just for our mental health, man.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen, if you don't get together with your people on a regular basis, make sure you do that, man. It's good for your mental health.
It really is, man. Yeah, I be forgetting until people mention something that we say on the pod that other people are listening. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. We do put this out there.
I thought we were just talking in your kitchen.
Oh man, and then I'm like, did I say something that I probably shouldn't have said on camera?
Nah.
Yeah.
Yo, welcome back, everybody, to the Carpet Flipping Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit him with the drink of the day.
Yo, listen, this one, it was actually called something else, and I hadn't renamed it, but I need to rename it because
that's right. We made it right,
because we made it right, and we took and we made our own recipe and all that, and we hadn't discussed the name, but I think I got it.
Oh, hit it!
I'm gonna call it the Chili Maestro.
Ooh,
hey,
I like it.
I'm gonna call it the Chili Maestro, and
I'm putting it in the recipe book.
Let's go, damn it! Yeah, that's right. It is going in the recipe book. Make sure you guys pre-order that. Whenever we drop it,
whenever we get a website.
But I know you guys are disappointed we didn't do an old fashioned this week, or a variation of an old fashioned. So the Chili Maestro, man, we did the Maestro Dobel tequila, the Añejo tequila. This one's, I've had it sitting around for a little bit, wanting to do something with it. So glad I finally found something to mix with it. So we
almost did an old fashioned.
Yeah, and then we switched it for I think the time that we did do a tequila old fashioned was we. No,
I'm talking about today.
Oh, today, yeah, we did. We trying to get this right. You're right. We did get it right. But I'm, like we got it down. We did what we do. We mix it and we keep adding shit, and then it worked out, man. So we did the Chili Maestro, man. It was 2 ounces of the tequila, did an ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, an ounce of agave syrup, and an ounce of tart cherry juice, which I'm still fuming about the price of fucking juice. But yeah, just it works. It works. So in a shaker, shake that up. Poured in a rocks glass, old-fashioned glass, whatever you want to call it, filled with ice. But we rimmed it with Himalayan sea salt and chili powder as the rim. And it does make a difference, man, that flavor you get with that. And I like to, a lot of people don't know, it's funny, man, people be like, how do you get the salt to stick when they're making margaritas?
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
lime juice,
usually
right?
It's like, I used I like to rim it with the lime juice. Some people just wet the glass. You could do that too. But I like to take the lime and wrap it around it, right? Just wet it with the lime and then dip it with the in a plate with the chili powder and the salt. And the lime, I feel like, is better because you get that flavor mixed in there as well. And it's good. We got it down. We did variations of this. You could back off some of the sweet stuff. It doesn't taste as good. Like, take it from us, we already did it. Do the 1-1-1 and the 2. So 1 ounce of each, 2 ounces of tequila. You may even be able to add a little more tequila to it, and it's probably fine. You can't go wrong. But stick to the 1-1-2. And enjoy, man. This thing's fun. The Chili Maestro.
Let's go. It's going on the recipe book.
Let's go. Yeah, it's good. And we hadn't done something different in a while either. Like we've tried. But
we've been on the old fashions lately. If y'all been listening, we've been on the old fashions. Last week, or not even last week, last episode, we had the double bourbon. We had two different bourbons on the old fashioned. We done tequila old fashioned prior to that.
With the Old Elk and the H. Derringer bourbons?
Yes.
Yeah. And they were phenomenal, man. They were so good.
That Old Elk is almost finished in my house, and I'm about to start crying.
That you've gone through. I'm surprised. Normally you
know I've been holding. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. I've been finding it hard to make it with anything else, which I've actually had for my birthday. Like, you got me that. I had another friend of mine, Jen. She's a friend of the show. She got me a rye whiskey, which I was never too fond of, but when I made the old fashioned with that was really good. Yeah.
I love them. Yeah.
So I got a few things and I got some tequila for my birthday. So been doing like old fashions between the two, and yeah, it's been great in my house.
Can't go wrong, man. You told me, man, I almost got you the Eagle Rare.
Ooh, that one
that we had on here.
Yeah, that one's really good too.
And the guy talked me that one. I'm glad because man, after even I tried, I was like, fuck, that one's good, man. I'm gonna have to go get that one. Yeah, it's so different. It's so good, man.
All right, man, hit him with the carbon footprint. What you got?
Listen, man, this week, I struggled with a few, but Mexico elected, their first female president, and Mexico got to a female president before we did. Which is interesting.
They're not the only ones, man. Philippines had a female president.
No, but there's a lot of countries in the world that have had female presidents or prime ministers or whatever. But it's funny, in North America,
Germany.
Right. They're the chancellor or whatever, Germany, yep. Right? Whatever. Yeah. So a lot of countries have had one. It's just in North America, especially from Mexico, just not what you expected. They beat us to the punch, man. So Claudia Sheinbaum, first female president. Although Mexico, to their credit, they even shit out because they murdered a female mayor the same day. Like, nah, this shit's getting out of hand.
They're like, no, we don't want you.
Like, we don't. Like, too many. Yo, Mexico is about to have the most indecisive cabinet in the history of countries.
Dude, didn't like 30 something people get murdered?
Dude, it's
prior to elections.
Well, politicians have been getting murdered left and right in Mexico. Okay. Period. Right now, like it's been which I go, why would you? I think politics is a shitty job to want to get into in the first place, which is funny because that's what I thought I wanted to get into out of high school.
Really?
I was a political science major when I started college because I thought I wanted to go to law school and then potentially into politics route.
Why'd you switch?
Fuck that. The law school thing, the politics thing, I just realized you can't really make a difference in politics, and eventually you give in to the machine, and I think that was something where I was like, I think you go in with good intentions, or like I was sort of fascinated or romanticized by the idea of the whole thing, and then as you get older and you get a little bit smarter, you kind of realize like, no, you're just gonna be another cog in the wheel. Like
then you get really old and you have to take cocaine to stay awake.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I digress.
What are you doing?
Sorry, man.
And then I gave up on the law school thing because everyone that I met at the time who was either in law school or had just graduated from law school like hated their life and they just all looked sad. And I was like, that's not good. And then you start talking like what they made and stuff at the time, and I was like, it's not enough money to look like you, so I'm good. So I backed out. But anyway, like I was infatuated with the politics. Dude, if you're in Mexico right now, they're getting like murdered left and right or attempted assassinations and stuff for mayors, governors, like why would you even sign up for that job anymore? Like there can't be enough money in the world or power or whatever.
And the cartels are really big in Mexico, right?
So they're the ones pulling off the murders.
Right. They're just going like, no, we don't want you. No, you don't get to run.
Yeah.
We kill you.
And it's a free for all. But shout out to them. They elected her. I was joking around like, this is the most indecisive cabinet in the history of Mexico now, because it's just going to be like, the cartels are attacking thing. What should we do? And you're just going to get her to be like, I don't know. What do you think we should do? Everything's just going to be like, I don't know. What do you guys? I don't know. I can't decide.
Yeah, that was Joe's call.
Yeah. They can't
go kill him.
They can't decide what to eat. Can you imagine now? She got to decide whether or not to bomb, fucking Nicaragua. It's gonna be like, I don't know.
Dude, I think the number was over 30 people that were running for office that got killed.
Oh yeah, there's been all kinds of really, really fucked up stuff, man. So I think for her, ballsy, and I don't know, man. Good luck to her. You hope she's safe. But it is, I think anytime you have anything, I think that it's weird that we're still having these first as a society or even like across the world, like, whether it's first black or first, first female woman. Or first, whatever it is. But that's the reality of where we are. So it's just, it takes one. And hopefully it'll open up the floodgates where we don't even go like, oh, it's a woman, or oh, it's a guy, or oh, they're black, or oh, they're, whatever. It's like,
it's just like it's the best person.
Who's the president? Yeah, and the best person fit for the job. So so shout out to Claudia, man. I say more. I don't even know what doing good in Mexico politics is like, other than staying alive.
Yeah, so hopefully you just make shout out for still being alive,
stay alive, and
winning the election.
And either way, it's historic, and I think changes the course of of history, certainly in Mexico, but probably in North America.
Yeah.
And we'll see, man. Best of luck to her, man.
Dude, and I feel like we have to one of our topics here was Trump's trial, and as we were talking here, I'm going, as for those of you not living under a rock, right? Trump was convicted, right, guilty on 30-some charges of whatever, the whole hush money.
Yeah, the hush money thing. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's falsifying accounting records, basically.
Right, because he kind of gave hush money to someone, which is not necessarily illegal, but he did it under like a campaign fund, I guess.
Yeah, and then he classified it as like legal expenses in your books. And listen,
right.
As someone who's worked in accounting and finance for almost 20 years now, what he did was very, very common. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that companies take the liberty of coding things in a specific way all the time, and obviously because he is who he is, and sort of the noise and whatever that he's made, it's sort of scrutinized more. I also don't have a problem with, which I feel like he did what a lot of people with money and power, and some broke people too. I know plenty of broke people who pay bribes. Like,
I don't know.
You're not hanging out around the right people.
I just don't hang out.
But but I don't know. It's neither here nor there. But
no, it is, bro. Like it's fucking that.
I just don't care. I think.
Oh no, I don't either.
Yeah.
The trial was clearly like a witch hunt, right? And so yes, so in, I guess, in the space that he did it was sort of wrong. But essentially, he's gonna get like fucking community service, for this thing, right? But so I feel like
turn him into a martyr.
I feel like the bigger thing is like it's the political parties, maybe both sides, who knows, trying to get him not to run.
Yeah. The fascinating part about this is the weakest case supposedly against him of all the things that he has sort of pending and looming.
Really?
Because there's going to be other things that he's charged with, allegedly. This was the weakest case they had against him for something, and it stuck. So I'm kind of curious to see where that whole thing goes.
Okay.
I'm more fascinated from like to your point of like just like the podcast is like from like just where this takes us from a history book standpoint, right?
Oh
like
my
when
God,
we look back on this point in time, it's like I don't care what your politics are, but a former president or sitting president, whatever, getting convicted and then having something like that, and then in an election year where they're running for re-election, having sat out a 4-year term, like I'm just fascinated by where this goes because no matter where it goes and no matter what you think about thing, this is like it's going to be something in history books in 10,
absolutely
15, 20 years,
bro.
whatever.
And
so
dude, let's just say he gets elected and then has to serve community service,
bruh. They give him an ankle monitor, and my boys at the White House standing at the gate, and they're like, "Craig," he's like, "Nope, can't go back. I got this monitor."
Dude, and not for nothing, man. So you've seen. So I know he had a big thing in the Bronx, right? Like sort of a rally.
That's fitting.
And
he gets convicted of a felony, and then you go hang out in the Bronx.
And dude, not for nothing, man. Right? Like, are you so with this trial? Are you engaging like the poorer population even more as in like, hey, they fucked you too. This is what they do to us all the time. This is what the system does to us. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah,
and again,
if you're like a poor, disenfranchised community, right? Like in the Bronx, for example,
like
all
in
of
the
the
Bronx.
Bronx, you're a mostly poor, disenfranchised, sort of forgotten, I guess, population.
Right.
The Bronx is the only part of New York that hasn't changed. It's probably the perfect place for him to go. Yeah. Do you go like, bro? Because I think about me. Does a president being convicted of a felony or whatever deter me from voting for them? Probably not. I'm probably more, not that I'm more willing to vote for them, but I like the idea of my politicians sort of being more relatable and not playing the whole squeaky clean thing. I think the issue I've had with this in the past with politicians is the pass we give to certain politicians because we like them, or like I'm like, if the rules are we don't give a shit, that you got convicted of a felony, then let's make that the rule for everyone. I think like especially during the Obama administration, for example, Obama had to be so squeaky clean. Like I don't care what his politics were. Like you can think whatever, but I just remember he had to be squeaky clean because he was the first black president, right? Because he was the first. He had to be like the most perfect, and somehow they found this guy who never had a controversy pop out, never had. And I'm not talking about policy or whatever, just the man. Didn't have an issue come out, didn't had to be perfect, had to address a podium perfectly, had to, couldn't have any additional baby mamas, couldn't have any family drama, couldn't have, like he had to be squeaky clean. And then, he would have never made it if he had a prior conviction or.
No, definitely.
And so to me, I've always been more of can the rules just be the same for everyone?
Yeah.
I don't care that he got convicted. I just want that to not matter for everyone across the board.
Dude, you get the biggest thing that they tried to have with Obama was the whole birth certificate thing.
Yeah, the reach for
it was such a horrible reach.
It's such a reach, yeah.
But I feel like this guilty verdict for Trump kind of electrified his base.
Oh, absolutely! It turns him into a martyr.
Yeah, they just doubling down on it, and if it's almost like the other side. So I will say the Democratic Party is just looking for anything that they can grasp so that you don't vote for him. Right? It's almost like vote, vote for the other guy because this guy is now a criminal.
Yeah, they're not saying vote for our guy. They're just saying don't vote for that.
Don't vote for the right.
Dude, I wonder.
It's like keep him out.
And I wonder if bro, people will vote their party no matter what, right? Like this isn't. If you were a Trump supporter, you're a Trump supporter. Like you said, this made you more passionate. It doesn't get you more votes. It just made them more passionate. If you didn't like him, you didn't like him no matter what, and this just sort of like affirms what you already thought.
It's everyone in the middle.
It's everyone in the middle, which is who you're really trying to win in an election, right? Because, dude, and this is why like it always weirds me out when guys sort of go too hard in on what they're based. I'm like, bro, those people aren't going anywhere. The people who vote red are gonna vote red. Like the people who vote blue are gonna vote blue. It's those people who are on the fence who can be swayed from election to election. Like it's someone like me who has voted both sides depending on the election, right? Like those are the people you're trying to win over. And those are the people who may be this swayed, and but it doesn't sway you in the direction of the other one. But I guess a vote that isn't, it'll be interesting, is a vote that's not for Trump, is it still against Biden? Like, are they doing the opposite of, should they be trying to win votes and like if you're the Democratic Party, should the strategy be, we should be getting people to vote for us and not to vote against Trump? Because if they vote for, say, Kennedy, doesn't that still benefit Trump, I think, in the long run? Because I think that that we have shown, right, the middle last time was probably the difference for Biden.
Right.
Because the Trump voters are going to vote Trump. Like in that last election was very, very close. And it was middle.
Trump had the most votes ever.
Yes.
And then Biden trumped that.
Yes. Because it was such a passionate. Yeah. Well played, sir. But it was also 4 years of us fucking hating each other, right? And so you had this massive turnout. It was like a historic. You're not going to have that again. I think you might have record lows like this time around. Like I don't know that people
I don't
care.
know. And then RFK, I can't vote for him because he can't speak.
No, you can't yell for help. It's like, how do you do that? It's gonna be, dude. No matter what, you're right. I think first off, I think this turned him into a martyr, and it just sort of it ignites his base even more. I think if you hated him, it just whatever. It already confirms what you thought. I think if you're in the middle, you either don't give a fuck like me, or maybe it does sway you in the other direction. Like to me, whether or not I was voting for him, this wasn't gonna change my mind. Yeah. And
the reason why I brought this up after the Mexico thing was because I'm going, if, so this, him being convicted does not prevent him from running for president. If there's other cases coming up in these next 6 months, if those don't dissuade him from running, do they kill him?
If the cartel,
you know what I'm saying, man?
If the cartel was running things here,
right? No, but I'm talking about.
Like
I'm talking about here, like I feel like the government has already kind of showed their hand that they're willing to kind of twist and twist things to be their way, and the media follows really close with that, and so I'm just going like, man. Should Trump at some point fear for his life.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're anybody in that position, you should. But him especially now, I wouldn't be shocked. The other thing too, man, and this is my tinfoil hat guy, is the first go round. It was such a shock. I think that, to your point, the people who run this country aren't like Biden, aren't right. It's a collection of people in the background who we've never known. It isn't senators. It isn't. It's all the people that they work for who aren't the constituents.
We'll call them the deep state.
Yeah, the deep state, whatever you want to call it. Like those guys are the people who run the country. There's people way more powerful who are sort of the puppeteers in the background. Those guys, I think, probably stood out or did just enough because I don't think anyone in their right mind thought that first go round that Trump would win, which is like why there was this like collective almost mourning that like that night of the election. I remember, I don't know if you remember, but like there was like news stations, like people visibly crying. Like,
oh yeah.
It was really weird. I've never seen that. Like, you know, people are upset usually because their party doesn't win, but I don't remember that amount of disbelief. It's almost like, not that the game was rigged, but it's like the game was rigged and we somehow lost, and it's like this shock. And so you're right. Like, do they let that happen?
No one thought it was possible.
No one thought it was possible, but now that he's proved that it can be, and then the last time he got it really close, it's like, do you? Yeah, fuck, man. You have to wonder if something happens to him, even if it's natural causes.
Right, and that's the thing. So, like, after his conviction, his campaign raised $53 million.
Record for a day
in 24 hours.
Yeah, record for a day for a candidate.
It's fucking
it just
nuts.
goes to show, man. And it has been proven in politics, whoever raises the most money generally wins. Like, so it's. Dude, I'm so fascinated by how this whole thing plays out. Just, I don't really fucking care who wins, but I just want to see how this plays out. Like, it's
I'm gonna vote for like somebody in the fucking Green Party or something.
I'm gonna write my name in. I'm just gonna write.
Can you still do that?
Yeah, can you? I'm gonna write. I'm gonna write fellas from Carbon Footprint Podcast. President, Vice President. I'm gonna be like, fuck it, right, man. Give us a shot.
I'm gonna get off the politics.
What was yours, man? You had
my carbon footprint is going out to OpenAI. For those of you who don't know, this is the company that created ChatGPT.
Yep.
For those of you who have not used ChatGPT yet, you're probably living under a rock. Definitely go out and check it out. ChatGPT is pretty friggin' amazing. But OpenAI, the company who created this ChatGPT, they had a deal with News Corp, and News Corp owns brands like Wall Street Journal, Market Watch, and the New York Post. And the deal basically gives OpenAI the right to use the articles from News Corp's brands. Why this is sort of like historic is because there was other like 90% of major U.S. news outlets have installed blockers to prevent their sites from being crawled by AI training.
It's funny, man.
And because it was all like free, right? It was all on the internet.
Yes.
But they're like, no, like we don't want them to use our shit without our permission. So I think the deal is worth $250 million plus over the next 5 years.
Okay.
And
that's just for access to data. That probably saves the newspaper.
Access to data. That's right.
Okay.
Now, they've made similar deals with other publishers, like Politico and Business Insider and People Magazine. But the part that I found really interesting about this was like, you know, what does this say about the content produced by ChatGPT moving forward?
So my immediate thought was I'm skeptical now.
Right.
Because, and I hate to go back to politics, but we know that certain news sources and certain networks and publications lean in one way or the other. Mm-hmm. And I don't care which way they lean, they just do. And so now you're training an algorithm, or you're training AI to think that is the sort of source of truth, because they can't differentiate. But like, hey, these guys think this, and then these guys, but the truth is, or some whatever. So now it makes me skeptical, because there's already been this. We've had these things with AI is sort of like leaning or left or right anyway on certain issues, and it's clearly because of what it's been fed.
Yep.
And a lot of the programmers tend to be a certain political party. But yeah, when you said that, my first reaction in my head was, oh wait, that's uncomfortable because now I don't know that I'm getting the truth or that I'm getting facts.
That's right.
I'm getting an opinion based on the data that you're being fed from a specific source.
Right. And so now does this also perpetuate the controlling of the population via media?
I mean, easy
Right.
to do now, right?
You could, right, because
you have an agenda now, right? And if
That's
you're,
right.
Let's take it even like crazier than that. If you're pharmaceutical, if you're anyone who wants to buy advertising, and now you know, hey, let's go buy advertising with these guys, or partner with an article. You know how like movies now or TV shows will have like a brand placement of like a bottle of tequila
Yep.
or a car or whatever. It's like, who's to say now those guys don't place things of their brand or their medicine or their,
Yep.
you know, whatever it is, like their product, and sort of feed you into that too, because there's no limitations to it now, right? Like it's just the algorithm's going to put out what it gets in. You don't even have to say recommend this tequila. You're just, hey, over my tequila of Mastro de Bell had this discussion. You know, like you throw that in enough times and the algorithm starts to go, you know, like, oh, we should really probably talk about this tequila.
Yeah, and then us
it must be good for you.
Us as consumers, right? If you see it enough times,
Yeah.
dude. We talked about this earlier.
Maybe I've had too much tequila. I don't know.
No.
Like, I don't
We talked about this earlier off the air, where like if you guys are watching, and it's not just the like the cable news networks, it's streaming, it's anything with like advertisements. The pharmaceutical companies are freaking taking over everything.
Oh my God.
As far as the advertisements,
Are they the only ones that can afford commercials
That's
anymore?
I'm
Is that what it
guessing
is?
so, man.
Man, and we're one
You know,
of
they got all of our money during COVID.
yeah,
so-
dude, and we're one of the few countries that can actually show.
Yes.
Yeah, right. It's so weird, man, dude. I'm going to be curious to see. That's a great carbon footprint, because what does that do to the state of AI? Does it? I understand why you do it if you're the publisher, because or the journalism company, because they're dying, right? And they're trying, and they're fighting for clicks, and they're fighting for revenue streams,
Right.
and they're, you know, like you get that. But as a user of AI, and you know, like, I don't know, man, does it make me shy away from ChatGPT or from anything open at, you know,
or at least does it make you question the output?
well, and does it politicize, you know, AI in general? Like, do you now start to create this divide of like, well, I don't use, you know, like the same reason people go, I don't watch Fox, or I don't watch CNN, or I don't watch MSNBC, or whatever, you know, like because of this. So you start going, well, I'm not going to use ChatGPT because of this, because I don't trust it, and maybe this creates this divide. And then it's even worse, because now the people who are sort of being force fed whatever the news network wants them, now even their AI is sort of like force feeding them what
Exactly.
they already think, believe.
And then
want.
are you picking which AI to use based on how they're getting their news
Yeah.
sources, right?
Of course.
Dude, it's just like
Of course, we're
we're creating ourselves.
yeah, we're just going right back.
We
to
are
where
the algorithm,
Yeah, we
bro.
are. We're just going back to where we came from. It's like, we got this cool tool that we could use for a lot of other stuff. We're like, no,
Yeah.
no, just keep make it reaffirm what people
we-
already think.
That's right,
Don't
bro.
educate them. You know, it's like, just make them think what they already think is right. Dude, it's funny. I use AI a lot. I have a Google phone, and so one of the big pushes, one of the things that made me get it was their thing was, it's Google hardware, which is, you know, whatever, but it's the big thing was their AI push on their photos, which has been great, like for editing photos, like removing stuff from the
yeah, it's
background. It's awesome. But it also has the whole Gemini thing that you can ask it questions and it sort of interacts. But it's even gotten so smart where like it'll go through your emails and it'll go through your schedules and stuff. And so if you wanted to like, hey, make a schedule for me this week or a calendar, it'll do it. And it'll scan all your things and it'll say like, here, based on all your stuff. Like, it's really good and it can be really helpful. It's fucking creepy. It's invasive.
Yeah. But you did ask.
Yeah, exactly. And I did give it permission to link to my calendar and to link to my email and to link to my orders and to, you know, like, but even the one I use the most, man, my son and I, we go on walks a lot to a park close to here that has, you know, like a little bit of wildlife. It's in the middle of the city, so there's only so much. But one of the funnest things we like to do with the phone is to do the whole Google image search now. But AI has made it so good that like I can scan in and say it's a bird, and it'll literally pull up the bird. It'll tell me exactly where it is, where it's from, why it's there, what, you know, the times of the year that it's here. That,
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
And it's it's really educational. It's fucking creepy because I can do it. It's weird. If I do it to people, it'll give me a message to say, hey, sorry, I've been trained to not go to like, but it's only a matter of time before it's going to pull up like a human being. Do you imagine on the street, you see someone, you scan their face and it's going to like, take you to their social media or whatever?
No.
It's going to do it.
Yes, it's going to happen.
Like right now, it's almost like it's telling you that it's not allowed to do that.
Right. But it can.
Right. And but it's cool to see it pull that stuff up, and then the way I'm able to then edit that and take that image and drop it somewhere, and then, like the AI thing is so cool. But obviously, there's like everything else, man. There's a downside, and we're gonna figure out ways to fuck it up. So,
that's funny, man.
It's gonna be interesting to see, man.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Let me hit you with this real quick, man, because I need you to see this, because this is your boy.
Oh man.
So I think it was about maybe 2-3 weeks ago. 50 Cent on Instagram was trolling Jay-Z because he found this up close picture of Jay-Z.
Oh, not Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, man, that's your boy.
That's my boy, man. That's the GOAT.
I have to show you this picture.
That's the GOAT. What the fuck? What? Why? There's no way. Is that a selfie he took?
No. I don't know.
Bro, he looks like he's looking through a peephole.
So
Beyonce, open the door.
So I
can't even do a Jay-Z voice.
So I of course, I dive in. When I have to see the picture, I go, oh, the internet's going crazy right now, right? So here's where some of the comments. It said, lips look like burnt croissants.
That's fucking wild and accurate as fuck.
They said, now I see why they shot 50 Cent 9 times. What
did he say? Oh, I need to know. Because 50 is a world-class troller. So what's 50?
Jay in hibernation. He ain't coming outside till this shit with Puff blow over. No brunch, no lunch, no dinner. LOL. I'm all you got. I'm outside.
Oh, I'm all you got. Yo, it's true. He sold a Diddy documentary, like made a ton of money selling like a story show.
Who did?
50.
50. Yeah.
It's weird. The Jay Diddy thing, man. Like, is he saying that Jay knew? I mean, I think everybody knew what Diddy was up to. Who was
probably close to him. Yeah, hung out with him. Yeah.
That's gonna be fascinating to see. Yo, 50 is the one dude y'all should not fuck with, man. People forget. You'll remember this. 50 got big way before he dropped In the Club and Wanksta. And matter of fact, Wanksta was off of like a mixtape. I remember when that song came out. But
he was coming out dissing everybody.
Yes, that's what made him big. Remember he was the guy who was dissing everybody on mixtapes, and he hadn't dropped an album. And then when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, there was like 5 years where we were like, yo, 50 Cent is going to be the nice, nastiest dude ever. And then Eminem signed him, and then pulled him out of sort of that mixtape game. But 50 used to drop mixtapes, and you were like, oh, who is he fucking with now? And he would just murder people. And he was so funny. And I remember he would have tracks dissing legends, like 10 of them in one track. He would go ham because he just wanted sort of the attention.
Local New York dudes too, man.
Yeah, he was fucking dudes up. Yeah, and he got a lot of like notoriety about that. And then probably why he got shot fucking 75 times or whatever. But he's like always been a world-class troller. He was amazing at it back then. Yeah. And then dropped. Dude, I got to give 50 props. 50 had to have the most, in hip-hop, as far as hype goes, had to have the most the album that had to have the most hype around it, where people were curious. Oh my God, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever. Yeah. And Get Rich or Die Trying lived up to that hype.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like Get Rich or Die Trying has to be one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. And 50 lived up, and he made a career out of fucking trolling dudes. And by the way, doesn't diss a lot of dudes and Get Rich or Die Trying. He doesn't need to anymore. But he's fucking just. Oh, he's so funny, man. And I also, dude, not for nothing, I also think, and I heard this, I think it was on Brilliant Idiots, they were talking about it, and I agree with this. I think 50, the whole, if you think about like the show Power, right? It's one of his shows, and he's become sort of like this media mogul. I think 50 holds the key, sort of the next generation of the big time shows and movies we're going to watch, which is the whole mafia thing had its run for a long time. Like obviously all the Godfather movies and Casino and Goodfellas and Sopranos as a TV show. And I think those stories are sort of, for now, have been told and they're maxed out. And there'll be remakes of all that at some point in time and stories of the same characters or whatever that'll come later. But I think what's happening is that whole 80s, 90s, 2000s era was dominated sort of by I want to say like black culture, for lack of a better term, is like the street culture. I guess would probably be better, urban culture. And I think the next sort of wave of big time stories, movies, things that are coming out are going to be that, right? It's not going to be the Italian, guy running the mob. It's going to be Power. It's going to be those stories. And I think 50 has a lot to do with that. It's funny, man. I don't think he gets enough credit.
It's interesting, bro.
For like
but also like you talk about dudes like Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z is a guy from Brooklyn that was selling drugs. And, you know what I'm saying? Like he lived that. He kind of lived that culture.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see that.
Yeah. So it's funny, man. I think 50. He's such a fucking clown, and we give him so much shit also. But he's been brilliant with the media stuff, been brilliant with investments, with the vitamin water and
he has
a lot of stuff.
There's cognac, right? Is it Bronson cognac?
And he's done a vodka, and he's done all kinds of stuff.
We haven't done the cognac on here.
I don't think so. We might have to add that to the list just in honor of 50. But yeah, again, the guy made it here because he was a world class troller, man.
Let me read you some more of these comments, bro. Somebody said, looks like it's Diddy from Ring. It looks like it's from Diddy's Ring camera.
It looks like a people, bro. It really does. That was my first instinct.
Somebody else said, "This is what Beyonce sees in Missionary."
Yo, when we do the video, we're gonna put the picture up.
Well, we're gonna fucking definitely put the picture up.
We gotta put the picture up. Mark it. Like 30-something minutes. Oh my God, man.
And then the last one that I was laughing at was like, it said, "Diddy gonna miss those lips."
Bro, I did feel like you were showing me porn initially. When you pulled the picture up. I said, that's weird, but all right.
Nah, I said it back then, man. Dick sucking lips.
Nah, I was like, yo, is that Oprah, asshole? What are you showing me?
We gotta have this picture up to the whole fucking segment.
The whole thing, bro. The picture ain't coming down for 6 minutes. Yo, that's fucking crazy. I'm sorry, Jay. Oh my God, that's my boy, but damn, that shit is too funny. It does look horrible, man. Where the fuck did that picture come from?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Dude, that's
who knows where 50 gets his shit from?
Remember the one with Jay on the jet ski wearing a helmet and all the comments?
No.
Oh my God, bro. Jay has had some horrible ones over the years. There's one with him on a jet ski wearing I've never seen anybody wear a helmet on a jet ski, and Jay was. And oh my God, the fucking memes for that were relentless. And then there's one where he's walking with Beyonce, but he looks like he's hiding behind her. Yeah. And all the comments were like, oh, right over there, like they were messing with me or whatever. It was like, bro, they were so fucking funny. But he always gets caught in these compromising ass like positions or whatever. He doesn't give a fuck, I'm sure, but.
Shout out to Jay.
Shout out Jay, man. Legend, man. Oh my God. I don't think we've done his cognac here, and I love his cognac. Douce?
Jay?
Yeah. We haven't done Douce yet, right, man? I love Douce. I haven't done Douce in a minute. Does he even own it anymore? I got to go look that up.
I don't know.
He sued the company. I think Bacardi or somebody owned part of Douce with him, and I know they were.
So maybe not anymore.
Maybe not anymore. I got to look that up, man. But yeah. Shout out Jay. 50, man. Damn it, 50. Oh, 50's so funny, man.
Dude, talk to me about the WNBA, man. What's going on with the Washington Mystics?
Yo, I thought, bro, brilliant marketing. I mean, we've talked ad nauseum here about like the players, obviously, especially Caitlin Clark coming out.
Definitely now, more than what you want to talk about.
And all the noise. Yeah, way more. I feel every time there's a WNBA story and I'm like, got to talk about it, I'm like, God damn it. Fucking, but you know what? Shout out to these girls, man, making the most for some of them. Some of them are hating hard on Caitlin Clark, and they're going to ruin their chance at probably making a lot more money. But Washington Mystics, man, the team is, which I thought brilliant marketing idea. They're doing something called like a brunch and bottomless mimosas, which, if a WNBA game, you're trying to catering towards women. Yeah. And they're stopping at 15 minutes before tip off. So you go a couple hours before tip off, you get to have brunch there. You get to have bottomless mimosas. It includes tickets to the game. It's about $115 or whatever it is, 105. Not bad. You get to have a couple hours with your girls. You eat some food. Have again unlimited mimosas, and then you go to a game, bro. I think I found every guy just uninstall every dating app you've ever had, show up to a WNBA game 15 minutes before tip off, and you will leave with someone before the game tips off. You don't even have to watch the game. They will all be hammered.
So is this just the Mystics, or is this kind of like a
this is just the Mystics doing it
Really?
as which I think is genius. Tickets to the game, the food, the thing.
No,
you turn it into an event
bro.
for your girls, man. Hey, let's get dressed. Let's all go hang out. Let's and let's turn it into a Sunday thing.
Yeah.
It'll be popular for Sunday games.
And if guys know where girls are,
they go
they're gonna show up.
Yes, absolutely. So I saw that and I went, man, genius marketing idea. Way to sort of think outside of the box. I don't remember. I know teams have an all you can eat thing. A lot of them, with certain tickets in certain sections and all that. But it's brilliant, and the price point I think is reasonable.
It's absolutely reasonable.
If again, a lot of women already do brunch with their girls on a Sunday. They do but it's like, hey man, I could go do this. I could have brunch. I could have a game. I could take. You may turn women who aren't fans into fans because they're already there. At a minimum, you're still selling seats to a game, which would inevitably turn into sort of more like TV rights and all that stuff.
And let's be honest, man. With a little alcohol in us, we don't really care what we're doing.
Nope, we all have fun.
If you're with people that you enjoy at a place, as long as the shit is not blazing hot and you're not uncomfortable, like you're gonna have a good time.
It's indoors and AC, so dude. And we talked about this on here before all the time. Like obviously there are a lot of negative things about alcohol, sure, from a health perspective and all that stuff. Yeah. I love the idea, and I think even like why we have this. I love the idea of having a drink with friends, having a drink with family. There's a social lubricant that comes with alcohol and a looseness. Like I don't need help to talk, right? But I know a lot of other people do, and so. There is something with alcohol that the right amount, again, I call it like a social lubricant. Like people get loose, they get going, have a good time, they're happy, and you can perfectly exist in a world with that without it, feeling like you're dependent on that, or you or could turn into sort of like an addiction or whatever it is. Like I think, dude, I love the idea of getting together for a drink. I love the idea of what it can provide to people done the right way. And so anytime you can mix that in the right way, and you're trying to market sort of a sport that's growing, I think it's awesome. Dude, WNBA has never made money. I think always lost money. So.
And dude, with this year with the girls that came into the league, they've been generating some buzz, man. They've been selling out some games that was unheard of.
And they're moving them to the NBA arenas, and a lot of their games were in smaller spaces, and they're moving them to accommodate the crowds. And
nice.
That's great. Listen, as much shit as I give women's sports and WNBA, whatever, like I want to see them succeed, right? I want these girls to make, or these women to make as much money as possible. I want them to be able to take care of themselves and live a good life, and all that. Like you want that for them, and so the way in their profession they can get that is the what is basically the ultimate currency today, which is attention. Attention is the currency that pays the most now. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of attention, what's up with this the adult content creators?
Bro, did you see this list?
I did not see this, man. This is a good one. I want you to tell me about it.
Phenomenal. So there is a list out now of the countries that sort of have the most adult content creators, and we're talking like the most, OnlyFans, basically, I guess.
Oh, is that what I was going to say? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's who has the most, and I want to pull it up because I want to get the list right.
So are these like individual? So this is like individual, like OnlyFans. This is not like Pornhub or
no. Well, you could. So Pornhub has a way that you can make your own account and people follow you.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So it can be Pornhub, but I want to make sure I pull up the right. It's not on this one. Let me make sure. I want to pull it up because I want to give you the right names. But you could be that. So but mostly, right, it's OnlyFans. So here we go. Got it. So the country with the highest number of adult content creators. So what do you think that is? So most OnlyFans / Pornhub / Fansly is another one. There's a few out there. There's a few sites. We can start top to bottom, or you want me to start? You want me to start for like 10 down?
I need a countdown.
All right, so I'll start it at the list with.
Give me top 5.
Oh, okay, better. Let me scroll through here because it's a fucking lot. Okay, so top 5 is number 5 would be Romania.
Okay.
At what is this? 7. I'm trying to see what this number. Oh, per million. So 7.95 per million, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I guess it is. Spain is number 4.
Wow. Okay.
And I was trying to find like a correlation between the
European countries coming up big.
Yeah, Slovakia number 3, which I don't think the people in Slovakia have a choice, but it's a different conversation.
There's nothing else.
But I think some of them, Liam Neeson might be looking for them to bring them back home. I ain't never met.
You will make an OnlyFans.
How many people you know from Slovakia?
Not one.
No.
Is that a real country?
Exactly. Number 2 is surprising. Canada is the number 2 most. Actually, I fucked this up. Actually, never mind. I started at 10. So,
what the fuck?
So Romania was 10, Spain was 9, Slovakia was 8. I fucked this up.
Go ahead.
I knew I fucked this up
top 10,
because the reason I picked this was because someone in the top 5 I was very proud of. All right, so Canada is number 6. So ignore me, people. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Canada's number 7. Japan is number 6.
Okay.
Of top. So now we get into the top 5. So number 5, my pride and joy, Puerto Rico.
That's not a country.
Let's go. Yes, it is.
We said country.
It's a Commonwealth. That should count. Let me have this. So Puerto Rico's in the top 5 for content creators, which I can see. There's a lot of people on OnlyFans and Fansly and like Reddit and fucking Pornhub. I feel like there's a ton of. Maybe I just assume all Latinos are Puerto Ricans who are cool, but. No, actually, I am surprised. But
so they're number 5?
Yeah, Puerto Rico's small, man. So per million.
Really small.
They have, And then number 4 is Latvia, which might be another Liam Neeson situation, because I didn't even know that was a real thing.
Where are they located?
I don't know. I'm stupid. I went to public school. Number 3.
That wasn't even a country when I went to school.
It probably wasn't, bro.
That was part of the USSR. I'm lying.
You're
I have no idea
right,
what the fuck that is.
I don't know.
I have to look it up. All right.
I assume all the countries that sound like soup were part of the USSR.
All right, what's next?
USA is number 3. Let's go, America.
Go.
Number 3, let's go. Which is funny, man, because I was trying to find a correlation, and like clearly,
and there is none.
There isn't a correlation, and maybe I'm just not smart enough to gather it. Maybe I need AI to put that together. But I thought like how much the country is developed or not developed, or number of females versus males, or vice versa, or like there isn't anything that I have been able to spot. So America's number 3, Hungary is number 2.
Wow. Okay.
And then the number 1 country with adult content creators.
What is it?
I didn't even know this was a thing. Czechia, which might be a Liam Neeson situation, bro.
Where is that?
I don't know. I went to community college, bro.
I ain't thinking about my geography.
Yeah, so somewhere in Eastern Europe, probably. Which fuck, maybe Andrew Tate was onto something, bro. He really was selling all these. He had these
Romania. Isn't that where he was?
Yeah, bro. But all these Romania, Latvia, Slovenia, all this shit's close together, or Slovakia, whatever, it's close together. I was trying to think of like countries that we associate like good-looking people with.
Yep.
And I was trying to be like, man, is that it? But I don't know that we've ever said, Chechnya or
Or Canada.
Czechia or Canada or Hungary have good-looking people, or Latvia. We never thought about that.
I'm sure they all do.
USA has people from everywhere, right? So
Yeah, no,
it makes
I'm
sense.
sure they all do.
Puerto Rico, we're all pretty hot. I get it. Japan.
We all like Asians.
Japan, yeah, that's like a fetish thing. And then, the cartoon characters. I get it. Like the Canada thing, I guess it's like Americans. There's like a good mix of people from everywhere.
It's like America Part 2.
Yeah, you know, the pasty chicks and stuff like that who haven't been out in the sun. Spain makes total sense. Although I will say, chicks in Spain, they don't know how to fucking dress. But this could go for all of Europe.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming they're naked.
No, well, yeah, I guess also true. So like when on this, but I'm talking about when you walk around in Spain. I don't know that you're thinking, and this could be because culturally there's a lot of walking and all that stuff involved. It infuriates me with some of these countries how many chicks you see with like shitty sneakers. I know this is like a weird thing to pick up on, but I'm a shoe person, and if I see you walking around with like dirty Converses, it's off-putting, and every European country is full of chicks just wearing fucking sneakers because there's a lot of walking.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're
always outside. They walk everywhere, do all that stuff. That is such a turn off. So I never once have I been in a European country and thought like, oh, these women are hot. Not once. Like they're just yeah. Maybe I'm going in the winter and that's the problem. I don't know.
No, so it's not because it's not because of the shoes.
I was in Spain in the summer.
But is it because of the shoes?
I mean, part of it is the shoes. The shoes thing is very off-putting to me. And I'm sure, listen, there's very good-looking people all across the world. I'm sure there's good-looking people in Spain. Of course, there's good-looking people in Spain. But I just remember thinking,
clearly.
Oh, you know what I tell you? They're fucking hideous. I'll go on the record and tell you this. The women in the UK,
when you get rained on every day.
And it's just funny that I've been.
They're all depressed.
Yeah, and I've been in the outskirts of the UK, and I've been to London. And yes, there are good-looking people in London. Mm-hmm. They are not English. They're not originally. Yeah, they're imported. They're English by association, bro, not bloodline. But dude, I thought it was funny, man. I was just low key. I was just proud of Puerto Rico being in the top 5. Like, look, like they like to say that we don't have jobs. Fucking on camera is difficult, bro. It takes a lot of nerve. It takes a lot of guts. You know, there's a lot of performance anxiety with that. No, so I'm proud of my people, man.
Listen, man. Plus, it said which country, which
Listen,
that's not everything.
We're a country, bro. Don't
Do you have a president?
We have a governor, but not every country has a president.
Really?
Yeah, Germany doesn't have a president.
No, they have like a fucking, what is it? It's a fucking chancellor?
Yeah, it's not a president.
It's not a governor.
It's
higher than the governor.
What's Macron from France? Isn't he like a prime minister? I think there is a president.
Yeah, but that's kind of like a president.
Yeah, in the UK doesn't have a president.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a president, man.
The kind of and a president aren't the same thing. A governor of Puerto Rico is a kind of a president.
I don't know, man. I always go like governors for like our like our definition is like governors of states.
Yeah.
So to me, like Puerto Rico is just like it's like a state.
Oh, it should be a state. Yeah. That we could have a whole podcast on that, man. Yeah, it should be a state. And also, you want to talk about like fucking corrupt politics?
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad.
Puerto Rico politics is awful. I remember at one point in time, bro, I went to visit, and I remember seeing signs everywhere of people running for like mayors in certain towns and stuff, and then driving through, and then being so infuriated by the infrastructure that I was like, I started Googling while I was there the requirements to run for office in certain like towns, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it one day because it was so infuriating. Because I go, it can't be hard. Like, I don't understand why this place is falling apart. Yeah, bro, I've never been to a country. And I've been to countries everywhere where there's potholes on the highway, and Puerto Rico has them, and it's fucking infuriating. And I was like, there's way too much money to be made and a lot of things to offer from a tourism perspective and all this stuff to look like that I was like, I don't even need to be governor. I'm pretty sure I can be fucking mayor of one of these shithole towns in the middle of the island that like no one visits, and you could make a difference there if you sort of make the right connects and stuff. So that's on my radar, man. Watch out. I'm gonna be the one guy
do it, man. Do it.
Speaking in English and all the the debates with the local people.
They're not gonna vote for you.
Yeah, my whole thing is gonna be like, you can't even speak English. That's gonna be my comeback for everything. But can you trust a guy that can't speak English? Like, fuck, maybe that's my retirement plan. I'm gonna go be governor of a small town in Puerto Rico or a mayor of a small town in Puerto Rico.
Well, listen, man, you could be the mayor of a small town in Puerto Rico, or you could be like the police officer in San Diego.
Ooh.
You see this guy that was down to fuck?
Yeah, I did, man.
If you guys have not seen this, San Diego police officer, he arrested this woman, and they got video, in the police car. They're driving away, and the woman in the back seat, the arrested woman, basically tells the police officer, like, I'm down to fuck.
Yeah,
right now.
Let me go. We could fuck.
Yeah. And then,
I mean, she doesn't say let me go, but she just goes.
No,
like,
but she's like, I'm down to fuck.
I'm down to fuck. And he even tells her,
and
like,
he's
yo,
like, don't say that.
Don't say that. And he goes, there's a camera in here. So he goes, I'm down. Just shut the fuck up.
So as the story goes, his camera goes off, and then the next thing is that he calls for help because he is locked in the back seat of his patrol car with this woman, and he can't get out.
And he has to call for help.
He has to call for help.
So that oh man.
So he got suspended.
Yeah, and did they fire him? Right?
Did he get fired? I don't know. Maybe.
I thought he did.
I would imagine so. I mean, that is because I don't think that he was like a long time.
What? I'm a piece of shit. So I'm gonna ask you, like, what'd she do? Like, do I care if he fucking lets her?
Nothing that violent.
You and I both know cops. I don't know a single cop that hasn't told me that they haven't been, like propositioned a lot with, whatever, a blowjob, whatever. Chicks want to fuck.
The one that I know really well, I've never asked that question.
I bet you if we asked him, he would tell us.
I need to ask that.
He would tell us, but he would also tell us that he wouldn't take it up because he fucking hates human beings. But every cop I know
he'd rather give tickets.
Has the wildest stories of chicks offering them, and even the females I know have wild stories. And dudes are gross, so that part doesn't surprise me. But every guy cop I know has had fucking crazy stories of chicks offering and shit that they've done with people on duty, on their cop car, and whatever. So I wasn't surprised by the story, but it makes it hilarious that he locked himself in the car. It also made you think like how they don't have
a way to get out.
Which is weird. I guess you don't want criminals because obviously, like, if there's a way to get out, there's a trick. It'll inevitably make its way onto the internet and people. But you would think the cops would have something on them that would trigger like a release or whatever.
Yeah.
Because,
but I guess not.
Dude, you get into a fight with a suspect and he throws you back there, or like there's all these kind of scenarios where I can go like, hey, there should be a way out of this. Like, I don't know, but somebody will have protocol now. Also, was it worth it?
if he did it,
like, imagine she was awesome, bro. She was still cuffed and all that when they went and picked him up. She was still cuffed, and he was like putting his pants back on. Or I think maybe he was fully dressed already on the video that I saw.
He was definitely fully dressed. So like there's no evidence that he
actually did something, bro. But if you immediately lock yourself in there, right, and you're like, fuck, I gotta go call for help.
Do you do it? Do you go fuck it? I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna get fucking fired anyway or suspended. I'm getting something out of this. Because no matter what you say, you're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have sex with her, but I came back here and I locked myself up.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know how, and I would love to get an officer's like perspective of this, right? Because you go, if let's say you call it in, and it's one of your guys, one of your boys that come through.
Yeah.
Like, are they ratting you out? Or do they not have you have an option because they have to have their cameras? They have to have their cameras on.
But they could turn it off too.
I guess so, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how that plays out.
Do you not have your cell phone on you where you could call one of your boys, or did you only have the radio? And then couldn't you radio one of your boys like, hey, come over here, I want to show you something? I don't know.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Dude, that shit happened 100 times that day in that same county, and this is the one guy who locked himself. I bet you all these guys are careful as fuck now. It's like, well, I don't go into the back seat anymore. Like,
yeah, you got to bring him to the front seat.
Yeah, you got to leave him
handcuffed
on the cop car. You leave him handcuffed so they can't run away. It's so fucked up. But then it's like, yo, what was the plan? I'm gonna let you go. Like, yo, you do this, I'm gonna let you go. And now it's like, sorry, I arrested both of us. Like, how do you break that news? Some woman's like, you can't do nothing right. That's fucking crazy.
Bro, you got to tell me about this.
Oh my God.
Louisiana approved something this week.
Oh, dude. So
what is going on in
Louisiana
in good old Louisiana?
Surgical castration for convicted pedophiles and child molesters.
Ooh.
Which I gotta tell you, I'm a fan. I think, yeah, this is interesting, man, because so if you get convicted of raping or any kind of assault against a child,
and not for nothing, bro, I've had discussions about this shit, throughout my life with people, and it's always like, I think the consensus is always like, oh yeah, like cut off their dicks, right? If it's guys, which it typically is guys.
Oh, dude, if you're a child rapist or something like that, absolutely,
yeah,
I'm on board. Yeah.
Now, what is the definition of a pedophile?
Well, I think you have to come up with a sort of, the same way we do now. Like, there's different categories of sort of like sexual assaults against a minor, depending on the age, right? Like under 12 is something, under like 5 it's something else, and it varies by state. But
like there's levels a 17-year-old,
the grotesqueness that we
exactly. So like if you're 19 or 20 and you have a girlfriend that's 17,
I don't think it's gonna count there.
I would imagine.
I don't think it's gonna count. Like legally, yes, are you in the wrong? But it's not as egregious as like a 30 and a 9-year-old, right? Like I think the common sense will prevail in that instance.
I don't know, man. I don't think you can do common sense in this because so if
you're gonna cut my dick off, like common sense has got to prevail, right? Like,
no. Here's why I'm saying it. So like if you say, I think it has to be black and white with what's allowed and what's not. So like if you go, oh, it's a 19-year-old with a 17-year-old, is that pedophilia? Like I would probably say no. What if it's a 30-year-old with a 17? Is that, you know what I'm saying? What if it's 40 with a 17?
No, because I think the age of the girl or the guy, the victim,
right,
let's say, would determine that, right? Irrespective of what the age of the person is.
So is 17 okay?
I don't know that it's okay, but I think, does it require castration if you're 19, 20? No.
If you're 30 or 40, 50?
I'm again, castration, I'm going to say no. Is it gross?
Like,
yes. Does it require castration?
Black and white.
No, but I'm saying, but I think you could do a rule of that. Like if it's a 5-year-old, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's easy to say that.
So there has to be like a true age cutoff to be considered pedophilia.
Yeah. No, and I'm sure there is. There has to be. Like we do that now, right? Like the degrees of rape or those charges vary by the age group.
Rape is different, right?
No, but I guess minor. Yeah. Like sexual assault or minor vary depending on the age, right? Like 17 and you're whatever is one charge.
Yeah.
Like I think to 12, and it varies by state, which is the other thing, is like we don't even agree on that by state.
Yeah.
So
because let's be clear, like and again, like this is, I just want to go off of like nature says otherwise, right? Nature says that once a girl has her period, then she's fertile for breeding. Listen. I'm not making it right.
No.
I just want to say that because with every other species on this earth, so, and I'll just take dogs for instance, right? I'm not trying to compare humans to dogs. I'm just trying to almost like exploit the hypocrisy. When you have a female dog that goes into heat, we don't have a problem breeding that dog. We don't look at the mental capacity or anything like that, right? They just go, they're ready to breed, they're ready to have puppies. Is that dog ready for that? I don't fucking know. But we know that physically that dog is ready for puppies, right?
Yeah.
When a girl has her period, or when a guy is producing sperm, they are ready to produce offspring.
I think so. All right.
This is, and again, it's this societal, right? The societal constraints that we have on ourselves, and rightfully so, because we always look at the mental capacity of a human.
Yeah, because what separates us from the other animals, I guess, would be the consciousness, right? The level of like.
Well, we have no idea what their consciousness is.
Yeah,
right?
but like what we presume
know,
to be our understanding of right and wrong, our understanding, like we're the only animals that sort of know we're gonna die. We're like there's that sort of thing,
or so we think,
right? Like and so the differentiator is there. I also want to say, man, of all the things I thought I would be the reason our podcast would end. I think yours is going to be the clip. So I want to thank you. I thought I was going to be one that fuck this up.
We appreciate you guys listening. We're signing off.
And for all you people who said that you can't do this with Juan because he says some wild shit. Fuck y'all. Sean, don't say nothing. Juan gonna be the one. Let the record show.
Now, this is also coming from a guy who has no daughters.
No, I think to go back to your point. I mean, there's a fucking obviously we can argue the whole thing with the consciousness and all stuff.
And on that,
no, we'll see on next week. I don't even want to answer this. I'm like, I ain't even have dinner yet. We should stop this. Oh man. Yo, this how every press secretary feel who work for Biden or Trump.
It'd be like,
how the fuck do I respond to this?
You want sponsors, motherfucker? Fuck you.
Oh, it's so crazy, bro. Oh man. Oh, thank you. You saved my career. My podcasting career.
You're welcome. They gave me an award at work recently. They're gonna take it back tomorrow.
Oh, it's so crazy.
Oh man.
Oh my god, man. But I think there will be an age. I gotta dig deeper into it.
There has to be constraints.
But I do think, man,
and it can't be 18.
To your point, yeah, there's a certain age there where like, yeah, it's gross. Yeah, like whatever. But it's very different between, say, a 20 and a 17-year-old and a 20 and a 9-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old. And that's
of course.
kind of shit. And then like a 50-year-old and a 6-year-old, right? Like you should be fucking castrated, right? I agree with that.
And dude, we've gone and then we go like we've seen the double standard shit too, right? We've joked around here of fucking 30-something-year-old teacher with 15-year-old boy, right? Like a female teacher with a 15-year-old boy, And then we're like, yep, I would have did it, right? And is that so like does she get her fucking pussy lips chopped off?
No. What's the shit they do in Somalia? Don't they circumcise they cut out the clitoris or something? They circumcise.
No.
They do some shit in Somalia with chicks, not as a punishment, just in general because they're chicks. Shout out Somalia.
Just because.
Fucking just hating. Where there's not going to be a woman president? I say this and watch the fucking. Let me Google Somalia woman president. Just in case I'm wrong before I start talking shit.
Yeah.
But I think
you're not going to find it.
Yeah. Then I got because I think they do something similar. But yeah, you would think that you would have to have the sort of offset on the other side, but I don't know what that is. I don't know that you would. Fuck, man. I don't know that you would do it. I don't know that you could.
No, I think it's really interesting. I would love to. I'm going to go and read more about this.
There's a woman who's run for president, but she doesn't look like that.
But then she got her clit chopped off.
Yeah, and also all her pictures, all she's showing is fucking eyeballs. She got the whole get up thing with covering her whole body, so she's wearing like the ninja costume. And then she got somebody tried to correct me. I know it's a hijab, but that shit's not funny. right. I went to community college. I know what that is.
I know what you're talking about.
But it's not funnier than ninja costume, okay? And she's dressed like a ninja, quite frankly.
Shout out to Maggie.
Shout out to.
I'm sure, Maggie, you didn't want to shout out on this episode.
Of all the episodes, you got one. What's her last name? Where does she live?
I can't tell you.
She's like, yo, you motherfucker. Of all the episodes you're gonna in the segment, let's go. Oh my God, bro.
Oh man, we should probably end on this. What time is it?
Nah, I do want to touch on one thing. It's fuck. We're an hour 10 into it. I do want to touch on the Negro League thing, man.
Oh yeah,
we didn't get to do that, man, and I almost made that my carbon footprint, but. Shout out to Major League Baseball. I don't give fucking Major League Baseball a lot of credit for a lot of shit over the past years because I think they're the fucking worst run sports league ever. But I do think this was brilliant. And kudos to them for.
So what happened?
The Negro League, which obviously ran to early 1900s to mid 1900s up until Jackie Robinson. Obviously, we know made his major league debut with the Dodgers. There was another league that black people had to play in called the Negro Leagues.
Yep.
They're merging the stats with Major League Baseball, which has completely changed the standings of all time.
Oh
stats.
My God! Yeah.
So if you played in the Negro League,
like Satchel Paige.
Yeah, like so the all-time leader, like in batting average, is now a new guy from the Negro Leagues for all of Major League Baseball.
Wow!
And so they've combined the record books, and so it's changed like standings for home run leaders and for batting averages and pitchers and that sort of thing. And again, these guys are playing against equally as good competition, if not better. Back then, yeah. Right? And so it is a fair sort of comparison, and sort of they merged the stats from both leagues and they made it one. So now these guys qualify to be sort of the all-time major league leaders in whatever categories. Wow. So shout out to that. I thought that was
kudos to the MLB, man. And then the commissioner, what's his name?
Manfred. Rob Manfred.
He does not get a lot of credit for much.
And he's been great since he's come in, man.
Yeah.
Bud Selig was a fucking fossil, and fucking Rob Manfred has done some things, like I don't agree with everything, but
the pitch count thing, phenomenal. The fucking replays.
Yeah,
now this, man.
Yeah, the gambling, like letting. Maybe I'm thinking of Adam Silver actually. He's been a lot more progressive. He's tried to move the game forward. I think doing this, I always think it's a crime. If you held any record before you were allowed to play with blacks and browns and Asians and all that stuff, especially in baseball, there's an asterisk on that shit, man. Yeah. Like we've talked, I'm pretty sure we've talked about it on this podcast about my thoughts on like Babe Ruth leading. Babe Ruth was 6'1" and like fucking my weight, he was my size and overweight, and he was considered the greatest baseball player of all time. There's no fucking way Babe Ruth would be successful against, if he was playing against Asians and Latinos and the black folks, and maybe he would be fair. Right, but we won't know that because Babe Ruth. You ever seen a team photo of the Yankees from that era? Babe Ruth towered over everyone, and I would be the smallest guy on any major league team probably today. And Babe Ruth towered over everybody. So I think baseball is one of those sports where I think there should be an asterisk if everybody playing at the time that you played looked like chalk. So it's weird. Like I saw these things where people are like, "Oh, there shouldn't be." They didn't play against any other major leaguers. I'm like, really? Because if you look at the league today, the majority of the league is fucking Latino or Asian No, I shouldn't say the majority, but a good chunk, and a lot of the players we know, and obviously there's a lot of good white players and all that. But I think it's it's an international game.
Yeah, and great players from all over the world.
Yeah, and I think for a group of people at a certain point in time who weren't allowed to showcase their skills at the highest level that was offered, and now being able to be included in that, some of them aren't alive to see it. Most of them actually aren't alive to see that come through. But for their families, and all that stuff,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome, and kudos to Major League Baseball for being sort of, I think, that progressive, that understanding. Evidently, the COVID year of all things was the year that made them sort of rethink this, because the Negro League Baseball had shortened seasons, And so Major League Baseball, though, also had to take into account this shortened season in 2020 because of COVID.
Right.
And obviously, shortened seasons will hurt you from a, say, most X in a season, say most stolen bases or most home runs, most whatever, but it helps you from an average perspective.
Correct.
And so because they sort of took that into account, I think it made them rethink the arguments against the Negro Leagues. A lot of them where their seasons were only like 50 games or 60 games and that sort of thing. And so it sort of got rid of the, but we can't do it because of. And I think so
it's like, if you're going to count this, you have to be able to count that.
You should be able to count that. So,
yep.
So kudos to them for even considering that and doing that and then going through with it. I think officially as of today, if I'm not mistaken, or yesterday, the books changed for Major. So if
That's
you go
awesome,
on
man.
MLB.com, you look at stats, the all-time leaders for things have changed drastically. So
kudos to the
Shout out
MLB,
to
man. And on that, tell them where they can find us.
Yo, at the Carbon Football Podcast on IG, the Carbon Football Podcast on Facebook, on YouTube, at Carbon FP Pod at Carbon FP Podcast on TikTok, and at Carbon FP Pod on X, and then all the audio platforms, man. Amazon, Audible, Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, JioSaavn, Ghana, TuneIn, Podchaser, Pocket Cast, all of them. We're on there, so go find us, man, and tell your smart device to play us. If you're too lazy to search.
Yeah, that works too. And I'm gonna leave y'all with one thing. This last week, actually the week prior, lost another family member, and it's somebody in the baby boomer generation, and it's been really sad, watching my parents' generation start to get to that age group where people are passing away. But it is a reminder, that life is not only short, but also to love on the people that you have in your life and that are important to you. So Carmen Rodriguez, shout out to you. Thank you for yet another reminder on how we should live life. And we appreciate you guys. We will see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.